Peace to everybody. This is a new developing story right now. This is Jussie Smollett files malicious prosecution counterclaim against Chicago. Now, as you know, Empire producer Lee Daniels, he fired Jussie Smollett because of everything that is going on right now with Jussie. There are rumors that Jussie Smollett might make an appearance on Empire. I don't know if it's true or not, but they're just rumors right now. Also, the City of Chicago Police Department, Eddie Johnson, a former mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel, they claimed that Jussie Smollett faked his own attack, and literally they were not there. So how would they even know what happened to Jussie Smollett? They were not there at all. So, and now this is what they're trying to say. Oh, well, Jussie Smollett faked his own attack. They were not there, so they had no idea what was going on. And as you can see, here is Jussie Smollett in the screenshot. After Jussie Smollett has filed a counterclaim in federal court against the city of Chicago, multiple police officers and two brothers alleging a malicious prosecution caused him economic harm, humiliation, mental anguish, and extreme emotional distress. So Jussie Smollett has filed a counterclaim in federal court. And of course, it was against the city of Chicago. That means multiple police officers, two brothers, alleging a malicious prosecution caused him economic harm, humiliation, and mental anguish. And of course, extreme emotional distress. The counterclaim was contained in a 49-page answer to a lawsuit filed by the city against Smollett. It seeks to recover $130,106 for the investigation it conducted after Smollett in January made the allegedly false claim that he'd been the victim of a racist and homophobic beating. So there was a 49-page lawsuit thing that was filed by the city against Smollett. They are seeking to have $130,106 for the investigation it conducted after Smollett in January of this year. It was made the allegedly false claim he's been the victim of a racist and homophobic beating. Now, I know people are still thinking, oh, he did this to himself. No, you were not there. The police was not there. So how could they have known? How? Jussie Smollett had filed the police report after it happened, not before it. So Eddie Johnson, the Chicago superintendent, and the former mayor Rahm Emanuel, they was not there. They don't know what happened. They did not see what happened. The body cameras came out, I don't know, weeks later after all this, or I should say months later after all this, because there was evidence on a body camera that the police had to release. Smollett's counterclaim targets the city. The Chicago Police Department detectives Michael Diaz and Edward Wadnicki, Superintendent Eddie Johnson, and Abimbola and Ola Benjo Osandario, along with other unnamed individuals. So Jussie Smollett has got all these counterclaims, targets the city of Chicago, the police department, the former detective, or I should say the detectives, and Superintendent Eddie Johnson, and of course the Osandario brothers. And of course there's unnamed individuals too. So this is what he's doing. He's not going to let nobody get away with anything, because he filed the police report, literally. And so this is why the city of Chicago, I don't, is such a bad place to be, because with everything that's going on there, of course you got your shootings, you got this, you got that, but that's not the point. This point is because Smollett has decided to file counterclaims against the city of Chicago. Lawyers for the actor claim police sought to have Smollett prosecuted based on the Osandario brothers' false, self-serving, and unreliable statements in order to close the investigation into the attack on Mr. Smollett. So the lawyers for the actor, they claim the police sought to have Smollett prosecuted. Well, apparently that didn't work, based on the Osandario brothers. Well, the Osandario brothers, they told a different kind of story than what Smollett has given them. They say, oh, we didn't do no such thing, this and that. And, really, the Osandario brothers have been changing their stories around. And Smollett is maintaining his innocence because he knew he was there. The police was not there, and neither was the former mayor. They say proceedings against Smollett were terminated in Mr. Smollett's favor in a manner which indicates his innocence, because all 16 counts of the criminal indictment were dismissed 2.5 weeks after the indictment was filed. Yeah, so all those 16 counts he had against him, they were dismissed. They closed the case. They sealed it, I should say. But then the judge ordered the case to be open again. So, and then here comes the special prosecutor. Then Kim Fox is getting into trouble because of what her colleagues are doing and everything else. So, and of course, all 16 counts of the criminal indictment were dismissed 2.5 weeks after the indictment was filed. So it was dismissed after. They also say the city cannot recover costs from Smollett because it's already accepted $10,000 from him as payment in full in connection with the dismissal of the charges against him. Yeah, so they can't, the city of Chicago cannot accept any more money than what Mr. Smollett has given them. The city has accepted the $10,000 from him as a payment in full in connection with the dismissal of the charges against him. So, but now why is the city of Chicago still asking for all this money when Jussie Smollett has given them $10,000? It doesn't make sense. Also, Jussie Smollett did 2 days worth of community service. That's all he did, was 2 days of community service. Nothing more, nothing less, except for those 2 days. That was it. The counterclaim filed late Tuesday follows a decision by a U.S. District Judge Virginia Kendall not to toss the city's lawsuit against Smollett. In her ruling, Kendall wrote, "The city must prove the truth of these allegations to prevail at summary judgment or trial, at which point Smollett will be free to dispute the city's claims." Yeah, so the judge, Virginia Kendall, she came out and wrote, she said, well, the city must prove the truth of these allegations. So they have to come up with the allegations, see if it's true or not. that Mr. Smollett did this to himself, and I know he did not do this to himself. Is to prevail at summary judgment or trial, at which point Smollett will be free to dispute the city's claims. So he has a right to dispute the city's claims. The counterclaim was filed late Tuesday. It follows a decision by, of course, the judge herself. Then who knows what's going to happen after that, because this is something that Jussie Smollett has decided to do, was to file a counterclaim against the city of Chicago, because they want their $130,000, $106 of their money. I know Jussie's not going to pay them that kind of money. Come on, he's already forked over $10,000. That was enough to cover the cost of some of the investigation and whatever else it was. But I feel sorry for Jussie Smollett, and it's sad that the city of Chicago is still trying to get money out of him, but not this time, because as long as Jussie Smollett has filed a counterclaim, then who knows which way this is going to go. This is something to keep an eye on, and of course this is a developing story, but this is something to keep an eye on, to see where this is going to go. We don't know when this will happen with the judge, with the decision or anything like that. Leave your comments below. I am out.